Hello and welcome to Nick and Jenny Talk About a Movie. I'm Nick.
I'm Jenny.
And today we're going to talk about a movie called Love and Monsters.
This is one that we watched just last week. But before we go too far, we just want to tell you that if you haven't seen the movie, this is going to be full of spoilers. So maybe turn it off if this is a movie you actually were planning to watch.
And if you don't care, stay tuned.
And just watch on.
Yeah, just watch. I don't care. Okay, first thing we're going to do is we're going to try and remember the plot. That can be pretty challenging sometimes because we don't always get a very good sleep. And yeah, first things first.
Do you remember the plot?
What's the main character's name?
I'm the one with movie amnesia. You are not.
I don't
So
remember his
let's
name.
make sure we stick with our rules. His name, wait, I saw it. It was
John.
something O'Brien. Like the actor? What's his name?
Well, I wasn't thinking of the actor. I was just thinking about
We
like,
should know the name of the
character.
actor. Anyways, his last name is like O'Brien. This is how Hollywood we are. This guy, he's in the middle of an apocalypse. He's in a bunker full of these people that have rescued him when his family pretty much got taken out. And
Spoilers.
I know, well, I told you there would be spoilers. So he's all alone. This bunker family takes him in and takes care of him. And very quickly in the movie, you realize this guy's useless. He's not a fighter. In a time when warriors are needed, he is not a warrior. He's a wimp. There's an important plot going on here. You want to talk about the girl?
Okay. Obviously, the movie is about falling in love, so it's like a teen romance movie set in an apocalypse. But he's been separated from this girl that he's infatuated with, is fall in love. They were separated when, the monsters attacked their town, and the town got obliterated, and there's very few survivors. She is on the west coast, and he's kind of like more on the interior. He talks to her over the radio, so he still like feels this connection, but he can't reach her.
So one day, he decides, you know what, I'm done with this bunker, I'm done with this life, I'm gonna go find my girl. And so this non-warrior type goes up to the surface that has been overrun by giant bug monsters, and he's gonna somehow take like a week's journey to find this girl. It's quite humorous. I really enjoy this actor. He finally gets to the other side, but there's this plot twist. And normally in a movie like this, we're like, okay, he's gonna get to the girl, they're gonna get together, it's gonna be awesome, and movie ends. But actually, he gets to the other side, he gets the girl, and again, here's another spoiler, it's not very clear, are they gonna have a future or not?
Yeah, because when they're talking over the radio, she was basically just humoring him, that giving him hope that she still loves him, she doesn't.
Yeah, she was not being nice.
No, it was fine. She's trying to give him hope.
Well, hope / leading him on.
Yeah.
So
It's
anyway.
the end of the world.
It's the end of the world. Okay, take hope where you can get it, I guess.
Yeah.
So yeah, he goes and he finds this girl. By the time he gets to her, he has learned how to fight off monsters, and he's learned some survival skills from people that he met along the way. So he gets there and he's like this new person, and he realizes that she's become someone else as well. They've just having to survive in this new world has given them both a new perspective.
I think that it's important to remember, because it's like a road trip movie. Anytime you have a road trip movie, you have people that are going to learn lessons along the way. That it's in an apocalypse makes it funny and humorous. But I think something unexpected is that he gets to the end of his journey and then realizes that he's gone the wrong way. This family that he left behind are the people that actually really do care for him. And I think it's really cool in the movie where at the beginning you hear him saying that he loves his family, his bunker family as they call them, and he appreciates them and he knows that they're looking out for him. But all of those words are kind of hollow. That he's just kind of saying, he's going through the trope of it. But it's by the time he reaches the end of the journey that he realizes, oh, I actually do love these people. These are my family.
And they love me.
Yeah, and they
It's
love
something
me.
he didn't understand yet. There's another plot twist that kind of happens. He realizes he actually needs to go back and help his bunker family who are in a bad situation. And as I'm watching this, I know I've got a certain lens that I'm looking at the world right now, because I've been plunging into Sermon on the Mount and the Beatitudes in particular. And so I'm watching this and I'm like, okay, I know I'm stretching the metaphor, I'm stretching the comparison. I'm watching him and he starts as someone who's weak, who's got nothing, and he's gonna go out onto this journey and he's gonna learn how to become something that can help others. For me, I'm just hearing, blessed are the spiritually poor, the meek, the mourners, and the people who don't have much to offer, who are totally depending on God or some divine miracle for this guy meeting those strangers on the road that would help equip him. And then you see that he develops these skills and these character traits along the way. And what does he do with them? He goes right back and he helps people. And all along the way, of course, is opposition and challenges. It's really fun to take some of these principles and lessons that we find in the Bible and kind of look at them through a new lens and see them even in this movie that has nothing to do with the Sermon on the Mount in some respects, but this theme of journey and of growing and using that growth to help others, it really stood out to me.
Yeah, it's kind of like a Pilgrim's Progress in an apocalypse, which is fun. And, I think too, like, it's fun seeing those themes that kind of subvert your expectations culturally. Like, we live in a culture where romantic love is like super prized, and
like closure, some kind of grand happy ending where everything works out as you wanted it to, as you expected.
And there's still a happy ending here, but it's one of those things you go from somebody who's really individualistic, only thinking about himself, and he goes on this journey where he realizes that he actually has to look at himself communally, to look at how he fits into his community, and how, that romantic love gets put below his, call to familial love, which is a fun twist on the theme, because I think so many times, we're expecting this, either this kind of Don Quixote character who's just oblivious. He's going to go and do what he does, and he's going to get in all sorts of crazy hijinks, but he's never going to learn anything. But in this, he actually learns and develops and has a character arc that is fun to track with.
And all along the way, I think what is so fun about, again, it's the actor, whose name we don't know, but he's just got this really relatable personality where he's making these humble mistakes along the way and he's joking about it, but then he has this really apparent emotional depth, right? And so here's this guy that's going through this crazy experience of a giant bug apocalypse, I should say. And yeah, we can't relate to that. But what we can relate to is he's in over his head. Like, he doesn't know what he's doing in this. And even when he has developed these warrior instincts and warrior skills, he's still flying by the seat of his pants. And I think that's something we can all relate to.
And I think too that it's fun to see biblical themes come out of a movie that you wouldn't have ever expected it. And, I think this idea that we're all on this journey trying to move from being selfish, thinking only about ourselves, and enjoying our own delusion, to living in the real world where we actually have to work things out and care for others and live in a community that helps shape us and who we are.
Yeah, and face scary things too, right? So at the beginning, he was totally immobilized in his fear and would just freeze anytime any sort of opposition happened. And he learned how to overcome that. Still messy, still full of mistakes, but I think that's where we saw the success. Wasn't that he went from 0 to 100, but that he was growing.
It is interesting though to think that, the only reason he left the bunker is because he was delusional and had no connection to the reality of his situation.
Well, I think sometimes we need a little delusion, because if we knew what was out there, if we knew what we were going to face, I think that would be too much. I mean, you look at like this year, if we went back to last February 2020, and we knew that we would be in this long, dragged-out pandemic with vaccinations that aren't a quick fix, but it's just this nebulous journey that goes on and on. That would have been too much to handle, I think. And I know some of the wiser ones among us were going, this isn't going to be over fast. This isn't going to be over fast. But we were all hoping that this would just be, a lockdown and then freedom.
Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't that.
Nope, it's not that.
Well, and I think then that if we're following the theme of this movie, then the call is to grow up a bit here and act communally, and to think about how we relate to our neighbors and not put them at risk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and not just think about our future, our ambition, our goals that we want to go after, but think about what are we going to learn about ourselves in this time, and what are some realistic steps for growth that we can move towards.
Yeah. So Jenny, is this movie a thumbs up or a thumbs down?
I would say this movie is a thumbs up, and that is because I appreciated that it didn't dive into the sappiness for being a movie that had a whole premise around a relationship, right? And it was a lot of fun to watch. The actor is really enjoyable. He's deep, but he's also funny. Yeah, it was thought-provoking. And I think that's what I hope this does for all you out there watching. I hope that you find movies like this can be thought-provoking in how you understand your faith.
I also give it a thumbs up. I kind of wish there was more monsters. That, to me, is like a big highlight to a monster movie. But I really enjoyed the twists that the story took. I really liked that the main character actually grew and developed in a way that makes sense to me as a Christian. And I appreciated the fun kind of discourse that happens when we get this push and pull between being individualistic and being communal.
And there wouldn't be like a how it should have ended for you?
How it should have ended. I to be honest, he meets two people on his journey.
Yeah.
And I wanted them to come back because I really liked them.
The ones that helped him?
Yeah, they should have just stuck around.
I know. I was kind of sad about that too. But there's some hope again at the end. It may be delusion. We don't know. Maybe we'll find out.
We'll find out.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for joining us, and we look forward to talking about another movie in the future.
We'll see.
All
Take
right.
care.
Bye.
Bye.